Anna stood at the bus stop, her breath visible in the cold morning air. It was just another day, another ride to work. The street was empty, with only the occasional rustling of leaves breaking the silence. The bus arrived, creaking and groaning as it came to a halt. It was an old model, one Anna hadn't seen before. The driver, an elderly man with piercing eyes, gave her a nod as she boarded. The bus was almost empty, save for a few passengers scattered here and there. Anna took a seat near the back, trying to get comfortable. She noticed the passengers. A woman in a dark coat, a man in a hat pulled low over his face, and a child with a doll. None of them looked up, their faces hidden in shadow. As the bus rolled on, the lights flickered. Anna glanced around, feeling a shiver run down her spine. The bus took a turn down a narrow, fog-covered road she didn't recognize. She leaned forward, intending to ask the driver if this was a new route. "Excuse me," Anna called out. The driver didn't respond. He stared straight ahead, his hands gripping the wheel tightly. She sat back, uneasy, and looked at the other passengers, but they seemed unconcerned, lost in their own worlds. The bus slowed and stopped at an unfamiliar location. The woman in the dark coat stood up and got off without a word. Anna watched as she disappeared into the fog. When the doors closed, the bus resumed its journey, now on an even narrower path. Anna started to hear whispers, low and indistinct, coming from all around her. She couldn't make out the words, but they sent chills down her spine. She glanced at the child holding the doll, who was now staring directly at her with wide, unblinking eyes. The bus stopped again. This time, the man with the hat stood up and exited. Anna watched him vanish into the mist. She noticed something odd. The passengers who left no trace behind, their seats unnaturally clean, as if they had never been occupied. Anna's anxiety grew. She felt trapped, the bus now a moving cage. The whispers grew louder, more insistent. She looked back at the child, who was now closer, the doll's eyes seeming to follow her. The bus stopped once more. The child stood up, clutching the doll, and walked to the front. She hesitated at the door, turning to look directly at Anna. "Don't stay too long," the child said in a haunting, echoing voice before stepping off the bus. Anna was alone now. The bus continued its eerie journey. She tried to call out to the driver again, but her voice seemed swallowed by the heavy silence. The fog outside grew thicker, obscuring everything. The road ahead was barely visible. Anna's heart pounded as the whispers turned into hushed chants. She felt a presence behind her, but when she turned around, there was nothing there. Panic set in. She needed to get off this bus. Anna made her way to the front, trembling. "Please stop the bus," she pleaded. The driver remained motionless, his eyes fixed on the road. Desperate, she reached for the wheel, but her hand passed through it as if it were a shadow. Anna stumbled back, her mind reeling. She looked around and saw the bus itself starting to fade, becoming translucent. The passengers weren't real. The bus wasn't real. She was caught in a nightmare with no escape. The bus slowed and stopped one final time. The doors creaked open, revealing an old abandoned building. Anna knew she had no choice. She stepped off the bus, her heart pounding in her chest. Inside, the building was dark and musty. The whispers followed her, now louder, almost deafening. She wandered through the corridors, feeling watched, the air thick with dread. Anna turned a corner and came face to face with a shadowy figure. It loomed over her, its presence overwhelming. She tried to scream, but no sound came out. The figure reached out, its cold hand brushing her cheek. Memories flooded back. Anna remembered standing at the same bus stop years ago, waiting for a bus that never came. She had disappeared that day, lost in the fog. The bus she had boarded today was a ghostly echo of that tragic event. Anna found herself back at the bus stop, the morning sun starting to break through the fog. She was no longer on the bus or in the building. She was safe, but forever changed. The bus, the passengers, the building, they were all remnants of a forgotten past.